Hello my audience, today I'm going to be talking to you about fountain pens and the choices I have made related to creative writing and the reasons why I use these ancient tools when I write creatively nowadays. I'm going to talk about my preferences. These are my preferences, they are not the absolute truth. But I think I know my stuff. I think. You might be a fountain pen enthusiast. A very hardcore, you post on every forum. I'm still gonna say that I'm a pretty well versed in this stuff. And I know this stuff. Just believe me and trust me. Let's get to it. Over here I have 5 fountain pens and 1 ballpoint. They are by 2 manufacturers, Parker and Lamy, over here. And price ranges vary. I've talked about these more elaborately in one video, but this is more about the preference that I have for these pens. And the notebooks that I use, Moleskine, this brand has been around for ages, It is said that these notebooks were used by Hemingway and Vincent van Gogh. I don't know about that, but I love them. I've been using them for about 3 years. Then, from the same manufacturer as the pens, a notebook like that. They make hard covers, they make soft covers, but I'm going to say that I don't really fuck around nowadays with anything else but these type of notebooks. And I'm gonna explain why. You might say that if it's not a hard cover, then it's crap. But bear with me. Fountain pen writing, it requires some patience. And we are going to open up the page over here. And we are going to go from the cheapest to the most expensive. So here is the Lamy Aeon. And that's a 40-year-old pen. The nib, if you don't know anything about fountain pens, the nib is this part. The thing that hits the paper, where the rubber meets the road. So we are going to write a sample sentence. This day was amazing, but it started like crap. This day was amazing, but it started like crap. It feels good. For 40 euros, I dig it. I really dig it. I have 2 of those, so I'm not going to use the other one, because you already know. Here I have the only ballpoint that I use. I use a ballpoint pen, so I don't really use it so much. Maybe when I go out I might have it with me to take quick notes, or maybe when I write on post-it notes I might use this. And I'm going to explain why you shouldn't write with a ballpoint and a fountain pen in the same notebook. This day was amazing, but it started like crap. I tried to practice how to rap. Okay, so let's turn the page. And you probably cannot see it, but Moleskine notebooks, they bleed a bit. and you get these blots of ink. Some people say that that's the reason why you shouldn't use Moleskine for fountain pen writing. I'm going to say that that's actually awesome. There are so many reasons why I think it's good. You just don't understand. And this is why you shouldn't use ballpoints with fountain pens, because they leave indentation in the page of what you wrote. And it goes almost 3 pages. That's no good. I don't like ballpoints. I don't really fuck around with them. If I write with a ballpoint, I use something like the Rhodia notebook. But we're not gonna care about that. Then let's take this Parker one. This is 80 euros. You can get a Parker IM for cheaper. I hope that it works right now, because I changed the ink actually a couple of days ago. This day was amazing, but it started like crap. I tried to practice how to wrap. There was a cat sitting on my lap. Okay, you can probably already invent the next line. Parker IM. How does it feel? There's very little flex in the nib. It's a very robust pen, and when you get it flowing, this is one of those pens that you should actually wash each time you change the cartridge. The Parker Quink ink is kind of that type of ink that when it dries, because it dries pretty fast, it kind of clogs up the tip, so it should be washed. And it's not like a rule that you have to always wash the tip or the nib in each pen that you use. There are some pens that you don't actually have to do that very often. It's a great pen. If you are just starting out fountain pen writing, the Parker IM and Moleskine notebooks like this, it's a very good combination, and you can get yourself going for 50 euros. I mean 50 euros. That's not too bad. Then I'm going to take this pen. This is the Lamy Studio. This is the first one of these that has the gold nib. And I have tried Platinum, one of those. It's a Japanese manufacturer, Platinum. This one is by this manufacturer from Germany. But I tried one pen from Platinum and it had a gold tip. And I'm going to say that gold tips are also not all the same. And even with the same manufacturer, there can be like differences. So let's try to invent something that rhymes. Oh, here. There was a cat sitting on my lap. I started fountain pen writing because of no fap. Yeah. That's the reason why I really started, it was ages ago, but that's the reason why I started, this writing stuff. Well, it's probably not the only reason. I actually started it before that, but I wasn't using fancy stuff like this. I have been writing actually for 7 years. I think so. And I have used every tool. I have used the laptops, I have used the typewriter, I have used ballpoints, roller balls, speech recognition. I have tried it all, and I'm going to say that the best thing out there so far, compared to each one of those, typewriter, laptops, mechanical keyboards, anything, the best thing for writing is this. It costs 400 euros. It's named the Lamy Emporium. It's a design product, a very fancy fountain pen. If you start with this, you're probably not going to experience an enlightenment experience. You have to have some experience with this one. And you see that I'm a left-hander also. It's never been really a problem for me to be left-handed when I write, and I don't do those claw grip type of things that you see online. I don't have to do that kind of stuff. Maybe I'm an underwriter. I started fountain pen writing because of NoFap. This day was amazing, but it started like crap. I tried to practice how to rap. There was a cat sitting on my lap. I started fountain pen writing because of NoFap. Maybe all the lines I write are crap. And maybe all the lines I write are crap. Okay, we're gonna change the pen over here again. And maybe all the lines I write are crap. Okay, so now I'm going to elaborate. What's the difference that I kind of felt is that stainless steel nibs are more coarse and gold nibs are more smooth. They have more glide, and when you combine it with a very specific paper like this, it feels beautiful. It just feels beautiful. So now I'm going to change the notebook, and I'm going to talk in this middle part a little bit about the inks. And here I have a couple of different inks. Yeah, they're all by Lamy. I also have Parker inks, but I really dig the this manufacturer, because they manufacture ink in so many colors. And I don't fuck with bottled ink. And if you are a fountain pen enthusiast, you're gonna say that, why don't you use bottled ink and that pressure, that thing that comes in the box? It's because I wear very expensive clothes. That's the reason. I do not want to fuck my 150 euro shirts and my 200 euro pants and my 600 euro suits. I wear very expensive clothes. So, well, not the most expensive, but I wear good stuff. So I really don't want to fuck up that. So I don't use bottled ink, and I don't really see that there's anything better, compared to this. The flow of this is so good that I don't really care about, bottled ink. Not my stuff. I use cartridges like this. It's my style. And the thing about these notebooks, I'm not gonna demonstrate it over here, but why I said that I don't no longer fuck around with hard covers or even soft covers, I use these booklets, is the stitching. I dig the stitching over here so much because you can rip out any page and it will stay together the rest of the notebook. Any page you can rip out. There are a couple of perforated pages on the back, but with Moleskine notebooks, that are by the way made in so many colors, you can rip out any page and it will stay intact, the notebook. And that's very good for me because I'm a YouTuber. I sometimes carry these notes when I go filming, and I can do stuff with Boss Stabilos like this. I can make this kind of a mark, and it's very easy. Okay, now we are going to, by the way, like compare. Here's the black Parker ink. You see that when you use this, it first of all sticks to the pen, sticks to the stabilo bus very bad. But if you overline over here, it's very smooth. It doesn't make a mess. That's one thing I really like about also Lamy ink. It doesn't make a mess if you do these overlining things. I would recommend these for you for that reason. For that, I have like a truckload of those. You know, I love those. But we are going to change the notebook over here, and I'm going to say to you that even though the stitching looks the same, it's actually not the same. These are not stitched in the same way. If you start to rip out pages from these notebooks, the Lamy ones, they fall apart, the whole notebook. And I don't like that about these notebooks. I have a shoe box filled with these. I mean a shoe box. There's like, I don't know how many, almost 100 notebooks in that box. But if you do this again, and let's do it again in this order. I'm just going to write something over here. Today I looked to the sky. I saw a rainbow and a unicorn fly. Okay, there's some poetical stuff over there. I try to be a little poetic over here. So I'm going to write over here on this page because this is a ballpoint. And I would take a guess that for ballpoint pens this paper is better. It's thicker and it has this matte type of feel. If we kind of like glide our finger over this, I would say that this has more friction. There's some kind of wax. It feels like some kind of, you know, that kind of thing, you know, over here, some kind of coating. But over here, there's nothing like that. I don't know how they actually manufacture this paper, but it's special and nobody else can do it. It's kind of like Coca-Cola. Yeah, I've never thought about that actually. Yeah, but today I looked at the sky, I saw a rainbow and a unicorn fly. My friend at home was mean while getting high. Wasting all his monies and times and all that, you know, drug related paraphernalia. So it's the same thing over here. You get this kind of indentation or this kind of protrusion on the back, and that's why don't mix ballpoints and fountain pens in the same notebook. Then the Parker. And I have used this on these Lamy notebooks and I say that they don't mix too well. Today I looked at the sky, I saw a rainbow and a unicorn fly. It was so nice, but then I realized it's okay, but I wouldn't recommend if you want to start fountain pen writing and you decide to pick the Parker IM, which is a very great pen. This is brass and the tip is stainless steel. The ink costs something like €5 per 5 of those cartridges, and it's very nice. You can get started for about, as I said, 50 euros or 60 euros. But don't buy these notebooks for the use with the Parker. No good. Just no good. Moleskine is better for this pen. And I would say that that's true for each fountain pen in the world. You have to try them with different papers and manufacturers. But this is one of those stuff that you start to get into this, you become a bit brand loyal. Let's go with the gold one over here. It was nice, but then I realized that if the nib is gold, you might not even need a life, let alone a wife. What I can say over here is that it feels that these two are made for each other. Like, they feel that they are made for each other. I really mean that. That you know, you start to feel that kind of, you know, the surface and the instrument, the boundary between those starts to kind of fade. You know, but that's only when we go to the gold. And it applies to each one. It also applies to if you buy soft covers or if you buy hard covers, because the paper is always the same with the manufacturers. The only thing that changes is this cover and the size. So it didn't feel like that with this, the stainless steel. I say that for this both, the stainless steel feels kind of okay. As I said, Parker, it's better on Moleskine. But here, I say that, well, this is already an amazing, this is an amazing pen. I have written amazing stuff on this. Self-titled. But there's something even better out there, and we're gonna try that next. So let's go back to the 400-euro Emporium. And let alone a wife. If you have one of those, you know the strive. It feels amazing, but I'm going to say that over here it's no longer, with these pens, it's no longer about good or bad. When we compare these two notebooks, it's no longer about good or bad. It's just a different experience. I would say that if you want to write very, you know, like creatively, something that is like lyrics for songs, or maybe something like poetries, that kind of stuff with a lot of rhyming and rhythm and that kind of stuff, then these two, this is like an excellent combination. Like, it's just a different experience. But now that we have done that, I want to talk to you about, I didn't want to bring this brand forth at all in my videos, because I deemed it kind of crap when I was writing today. And I can talk about it in this later part of this video. Let's try it. I got this today because I was running out of notebooks, but I got my order, so I have a lot of these right now, you know, like I'm decked for like months. But I got this also today, Leuchtturm1917. And this is also a known brand, and I read online a lot of reviews and a lot of people like telling that, you know, this is actually a good notebook for fountain pen writing because it doesn't bleed. You see over here, like when you see that, you can easily write over here on the other side, and it's not a problem. And it's actually very smooth also on the other side. I think that there's a little bit, you know, you can feel a little bit of that, you know, like protrusion from the other side, but it's nothing serious if you don't use a ballpoint pen. Over here you can feel actually a little bit, maybe less or more, I don't know, but we're gonna try this. So I saw a lot of reviews that said that this is a good paper for fountain pen writing because it doesn't bleed to the other side. But I'm going to say that when you are in public places, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this because nobody can read what you are writing in public places. And I believe that that's the design choice that they made over here. I like that about this. And most likely, if you write on the other side of the page anything, the other side is going to be crap either way. So it doesn't really matter if you can't read that so well. It's good for privacy. So that's the reason why I like that. Let's try again. Leuchtturm. The day was just so. This actually feels good. The stainless steel Lamy Aeon on this notebook feels good, but this one feels better. It passes, you know, my kind of. I can live with that. I don't really care about this notebook so much, so I'm gonna write with the ballpoint pen. The day was just so, and I was getting old. Then the Parker Portal. I am 80 euros. The day was just so, and I was getting old. In the face of challenge, do you fold? It feels like crap. It feels like fucking crap. Like with this pen, it feels like fucking shit. There's like so much, like it feels like the nib, you know, it goes like into the grit of the paper. It feels like shit. With, you know, the Moleskine notebooks, it feels actually quite a good pen. So this is just the problem with this stuff. It's just that, you know, you might deem that these things are no good, even though you just haven't found the right, you know, combination. It's just the same thing as with shoes, you know. It's about the road. If you pick, you know, summer shoes for the winter time and in fall, it's pretty evident why, because you don't have that, you know, like grit in the shoe. You need some grip there. So let's try this. In the face of challenge, do you fold? Here's a story told. I was so focused over there what I was writing that I kind of have to do that again. This is quite a good combination. This pen feels pretty good over here. Yeah, this is good. This is good. I like this. This is a good combination. So if you have a Lamy Studio, even the stainless steel one, I would say that this actually feels pretty good. You know, it's a different experience again. You know, with this one, the paper never feels like crap or no good or good. It's just a different experience. So let's try this, the most expensive one. I feel that I'm not gonna write with this pen in these notebooks. When I wrote today, you know, this couple of like 10 pages, it just didn't feel right. The day was just so, and I was getting old. In the face of a challenge, do you fold? Here's a story told. You might rap that. The day was just so, and I was getting old. In the face of a challenge, do you fold? Here's a story told. It's already kind of a verse, like this. But let's try to finish that somehow. Here's a story told. This pen is the most bold. Yeah, it's not a good combination. It's just not a good combination. And it might be because this tip is broad. So this it's more suitable for this. So that's just the freaking basics of fountain pen writing. It's about the kind of the relationships, but what I can say about all of these pens is that when it's the same manufacturer, each one of them, you know, feels pretty, you know, nice, and it's cool, and it's okay, and it feels like just how it's supposed to feel when they have kind of, you know, made the paper just the way that, you know, it's like compatible, so to say, with the pen. I like that, but over here with different brands, you know, you kind of get that kind of feel. I don't know how to even explain this, but I feel that this is probably the most versatile of these pens. Like you can write all kinds of stuff with this. I feel that when I use this pen, some kind of genius starts to come out. But here's a line for you. The day was just so, and I was getting old. In the face of a challenge, do you fold? Here's a story told. That's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good considering I came up with it like off the top of my head from there. So yeah, that's great. So I'm not going to hamper on this brand too much, but it's not my favorite. And it's not my, you know, like the go-to brand that I would use, but I'm happy that I got this still today, and I'm going to use it for sure. And maybe with this, maybe with these two. So let's divide it up. What are the best combinations then for Then for, I would say that these two, you would use probably this over here, and I would use this one for this. And I'm going to show you just one more thing over here, or maybe no. Well, as a demonstration, you are watching this far, so you probably have all the time in the world to learn about this stuff, because you have watched this far. I'm going to just show you that there are hardcovers. There's a bigger hardcover, and here's a soft cover by Lamy. There are hardcover Moleskine notebooks. There's a lot of stuff. And here's the last notebook that I really want to talk about. And that's Rhodia. And I left it last because it's one of those notebooks that some people deem good. But I don't like it. I don't like Rhodia. I think the paper is very, first of all, it's very thin, it's very slippery. With fountain pen writing, I wouldn't recommend Rhodia ever. Maybe they have better quality paper in the more expensive models, but I don't like it. And I think that the most suitable for quick note taking with a ballpoint pen is just this. Like this. So this is how I would kind of divide these. Here's my. You can see some of my stuff. Here's my mask, breathing mask. It's by a Swedish company called Aeronum. Cleaning up the air that you breathe is going to also take your brain to the next level that you need to write good. But I'm saying that I would divide it like this. The ballpoint pen is great with Rhodia. The stainless steel is great with this. But I would say that you can use any Lamy pen with this. But this is how I would kind of divide it up, like what was best for each paper. So that's it. Thanks for watching. It was something like, I don't know if I did like half an hour for you about this stuff. It's a very autistic type of a thing, but I dig it. Here's my business card. My business card, Truth Detective, and just go ahead and write. When you start, I have been talking to you about this for quite a long time. When you start, it doesn't really matter. When I started, I used very cheap notebooks. I actually bought from United States a lot of these notebooks called Word. I might show them actually for you over here also. Just a minute. I used these notebooks when I started, called Word, and then I also have, well, I'm going to show you this one also. So I have been trying out a lot of stuff in my past related to this. Here's a Moleskine hardcover, and it's some kind of Harry Potter special edition. I didn't become like J.K. Rowling to buying that, but it's fine. And here's something that if you are an American, you should probably try. Word, a very good notebook for bullet journaling. And I love this because I have these notebooks. I was going through therapy when I used these. These were my therapy notebooks, I'm really glad that I got great notebooks for that. And at some point, you know, I was writing with the Parker 5th generation, and I have like a lot of this stuff. Man, I had imagination back then, but you know, these kind of flimsy things, I no longer write in A4 size. I think it's crap, but yeah. I think that for reals you shouldn't really fuck around with any other size than these, and you shouldn't fuck around with hardcovers or any of that. These are the most versatile kind of notebooks, and they are easy to carry around with you, and you can even get quotes. I have quotes by this manufacturer. You have seen those wool jackets, Paul Smith. It also made notebooks that I'm not really going into this notebook. It wasn't really something that you can even buy nowadays. So, but this manufacturer just makes coats and wool jackets that can actually fit this size of a notebook in the pocket perfectly. They are kind of like saying that use Moleskine carriers notebooks. You know, they are saying that. Go with these. These are awesome. So take your pick, use any brand you want. These are just my preferences. I'm not boxing myself into any manufacturer in the future. I'm going to try stuff out, but what I feel is that I'm not going to really find in the €200 range for certain anything better than this. Like the platinum pen that I had, you know, it was such, you know, the control of the pen was so weird. It was so like you have to understand that hands are also different in different cultures. I mean different, what's it called? Like Asians have different type of hands than Europeans, and Germans, I would guess pretty close, but each person has different type of hands also. I'm kind of made for fountain pen writing, because when you look at my finger over here, you look at this gap, like in my left hand. This gap makes it so that when I hold a pen like this, I was kind of made for like using pens. Because when I hold the pen like this, my finger curves, so it's just, you know, on the right spot on the pen. So this stuff is not for everybody, for certain, but if you are an enthusiast in this and you learned something, I'm glad. If you deem my preferences bad, then understand. It's just a preference, man. Even that rhymed. Yeah, I know my stuff, I know that. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you gained something from it.